Bakers and we are live with our Bakewell Tarts today. We're going to wait for everyone to join us. We have Max behind the camera at the moment because Mr. Boozy Bakers is delivering all your delicious cream teas. So say hi, Max, so they know you're there.
Hi.
Oh, we've got a cup of tea though.
Hi. It's been
a busy morning and I loved every minute of it, but we've just been flying around the kitchen like crazy.
We have.
Max is scanning the screen like crazy as you say hello. So if you think he's doing a good job, please give him a heart or a thumbs up, and he'll see that and he'll love that. Right, so hopefully you've made your pastry. It's the only way we could do this workshop.
Oh, they cheated.
Or you cheated and you bought it, which is fine. But the only way we could do a pastry-based workshop was to make the pastry in advance and let it chill.
Yeah, Michelle was going to try and get you to make the pastry and do the whole lot in one day, and I'm like, just a minute. I think that's going to be too much of a technical challenge.
Yeah, Max is grinning like a Cheshire cat, so I'm imagining from his reaction that you are all giving him a lot of love there, so thank you very much. So what we're going to do, we've got two variations of creating the pastry cases. This actually, I know they look quite intricate, and they're not that bad. So
I was seriously impressed. I really was.
Well done, Michelle.
I didn't realise you were professional.
So the key is to keep your pastry thin. We've got two ways of doing it. If you go, you know what, I don't care what they look like, I just want a Bakewell tart in front of me, you can go for a large circular cutter. If you go, actually, I really want to master those nice sharp sides, we've got another method, which is to use a smaller cutter which fits in the base of your muffin tins. So we'll do both. We'll show you both. Now, I know there's a comment about the tin size. We've gone for muffin tins because another thing you have with pastry is you have that blind baking. So you would put the pastry, if it was a big
Bakewell tart,
big tart case, you would really want to roll it out, put it in your big case, and then you'd want to blind bake that in the oven, and that means putting parchment paper and cooking beads on it so it doesn't puff up, and you part bake it before bringing it out and putting the filling in.
So you have a crispy bottom.
Yes, we want a crispy bottom.
Well, we don't want a saggy bottom.
So we don't want a saggy bottom.
Or a soggy bottom.
Or a soggy bottom. So we haven't done that. We've done little ones because we take out that process. Yeah. Let's put the oven on. So your oven temperatures for today are 170 for conventional, 160 degrees for fan, and gas mark 3. So I better do ours because we haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, that was right. Oh, that wasn't right. Hang on.
So if you didn't hear, Michelle, it's 170 for conventional, 160 for fan, and gas mark 3. You pop your oven on now.
Sue Pemberton Ladle asks, I have a question. Thought I had almond flour, but haven't. Can I use desiccated coconuts?
Yeah, you can. So the almond, no, it won't have the same flavour at all, but it'll be more like a macaron tart, a macaroon tart. Oh. So you'll have like a coconut tart. But you can use that.
I think that'd be quite interesting.
Show us how it goes. Yeah. Yes, Max.
Cav Shah asks, my cutter is bigger than the cupcake mould, is that okay?
Yeah, so we've gone for a 10 centimetre cutter and we're going to be fitting it, and you can see it's bigger because it's got to go up the sides. If you want to do the smaller ones and have nice neat sides, and your cutter, if it's smaller, don't worry, you can spread the pastry out of it and we'll make it fit.
Right.
Anne Hanscombe asks, my cutter looks massive compared to my tin. Cutter is 10 centimetres.
Yeah, same as ours. Ours is 10 as well. So don't worry too much about that. Right, I'm going to get going because I can sense the worry is getting
rising.
Yes, so we're going to sort out our pastry cases first. So sorry, I'm just going to move that slightly out of the way. Now, I've just got a load of plain flour. I only need a level tablespoon for my mix inside. So I'm going to use some of this just to put it out on my worktop for laying the pastry on.
So it doesn't stick.
No, we don't want any sticky pastry messes. So I'm just going to unwrap my pastry. I only pulled this out just before the workshop. If you've got shop bought, that will work fine too. If you've got pre-rolled, then you're ahead of us.
Yeah, you are.
But that's not a problem. So you want to get your pastry and you want to roll it out, and we're looking for about 2 to 3 millimeters in depth. So that's really quite thin. So what you need to do is roll it out really thin. Make sure you've got some flour. Oh, this is going to be a pain, isn't it? Because I've got it on the board as well. Make sure you've got some flour on your rolling pin and the board.
If you're using the board, you might be straight on your worktop.
Or
which would
worktop.
have been a better idea.
It would have been.
Yes. It's a good job she's got me.
It is. You got questions, Max?
Amanda Akian, sorry if I said that
Just
wrong.
say Amanda, darling. Keep it the first name because it's
Amanda
easier.
said I've got flaked almonds, not ground. Is that okay?
If you've got if you can crush them or you've got a processor, crush them up.
No, just crush them up.
It's flavour, guys. So I mean, it does help with absorbing. It acts like a flour in terms of for the mixture. So as long as you've got something that's going to absorb the and create a kind of batter, a thick batter, you'll be fine.
I'm being a handy helper.
You
She
are.
told me I was a handy helper last week.
You were a handy
I'm
helper.
going to stitch for the roll again. A handy helper. Wonder how many people last week did the lasagna. Was it-
Oh yeah. Did you do the lasagna last week?
Yeah.
Did you have a nice dinner? And did you do the garlic dough balls to go with it?
Yes, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It's nice. What else was I going to say? Oh, everyone!
Yes.
We've hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yay!
Yeah, thank you to all of you who subscribed.
Yeah.
Tracy says we did. And Nikki says we did with the dough balls,
Sorry.
all fab. Louise says making my turkey lasagna tomorrow.
Yeah.
Diane says I couldn't comment that I'd subscribed. Well done, you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
and
you.
Max, I know I'm going to keep saying it, but you're doing such a good job there, sweetheart.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you.
Right, so I'm going to put my rolling pin away. I think that's about right. It's quite thin. It almost has a kind of, I feel like it could almost go transparent if I go any more.
Yeah, or break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you the 2 ways. 1. Oh, so I told you I'm all over the place today.
Like I say, we have been so busy.
We have been busy. With your tin, I've used a pastry brush and some margarine, and I've just gone round all the holes and greased them all before we put anything in. Yes, I'll show you what's going to happen. So I'm going to get my big cutter first, and I'll show you this way.
And how big is this one?
This one's 10 centimetres.
Okay.
Now I can show you. Can they see that, Max?
How thin it is.
How thin it is.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get that, and I'm going to place it, and I'm trying to get the centre into the centre of my base, and then I'll try and do it this way, and I'm going to push, using my finger very carefully not to get the nails, I'm going to push the pastry in. But that's how you can do with a big cutter, and you can use your fingers to just spread it out and make it fit. So if your cutter's not quite the right size, you can use your fingers to manipulate the pastry. The other way to do it is to get a smaller cutter, and this is the way I do like to do it. I like the neatness,
Yes.
but it's just very thin, and it is just literally 2 or 3 millimeters in depth. And I'm going to place that in the bottom of my
Well done, Max.
the muffin tin there. And it's a little bit
Tuck
smaller
it in
this
here.
one. I could have probably gone for a slightly bigger cutter. I might change my cutter to a slightly bigger one. Otherwise, just use, if you haven't got a bigger one, or it's not the right size, just use your fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, I'm a bit half and half with that. And then, what I'm going to do is make some strips, about 2 centimetres in width, and they want to be about 20 centimetres long. Mr. Booty Baker's here! Max is breathing a sigh of relief. Although I think you've been replaced, this is very good.
It is very good. Yeah.
So, Max, are you going or are you staying?
Would you like to take over?
Right, Max, come to say hello to everyone before you go.
Hello. Good.
So well done, Max. Thanks very much. Say bye to everyone. Bye. Right. Mr. Boozy Bakers is here, hence everything's being knocked around. Where's the? You're right, love.
Yep.
Excellent.
Hello, everyone.
So that is a bit of this. 23 centimetres. You want it about 20. I'll show you. Don't worry.
I'm living with you, can't I?
I know the tape measure is passing over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pastry around the edges. Bear with me, guys, and I will show you.
It's too long.
It's too long, so I'm just going to get a little knife and I'm just going to cut off the extra. I'm going to show you, look. I'm coming in. Can they see that?
Yep.
So you can see I've got like a ribbon of pastry going around, and I'm just going to use my fingers to place that where I want it. It's very hard to do it, to show you like that and do it, so I'm just going to quickly, and because it's doing that shape, I need to put a bit more pressure on it at the top than the bottom.
Right.
Lots of people saying thanks to Max for doing a great job.
He did a fantastic job. He was a bit nervous and he did really well.
Yeah.
So those are your choices. Either small cutter and a strip of pastry to make a very sharp looking pastry, or you do a bit more rustic and go for a big cutter and pull it up the sides of your tin. However deep or shallow your tin is, you don't have to put it up to full height.
And if you haven't got a cutter, of course, you can cut round a mug or something like that.
Yeah, mug or a glass
or something.
Tracy Frost said, do you have to seal the sides to the bottom pastry circle?
No, you don't. No, it's soft enough that it will just hold together.
Victoria said, is this just if you don't have a big cutter?
You can, well, no,
It
is a choice. It's probably a little bit quicker to do your big cutter. It's a little bit neater to do your small cutter and a strip of pastry. So it's all going on today. So I think Max is on that as well. That boy's going to have some serious pocket money later. You might just need to check that he's on it, but it did sound like he was. Yeah, so I'm going to do it this way because I do like the sharp edge.
It does look, dare I say it looks really professional.
I know, you keep saying that with such surprise in your...
No, it does, it is really, well, I think it's really impressive, but it doesn't take a lot.
There we go. So all I'm doing is all the bases at the moment because I just want to make it just that bit quicker for myself rather than doing one and then another one. It's just, it's always, if you do things as...
like a factory line.
Like a factory, that's a bit thick there. So I'm just going to roll that out a bit more and then I can use that bit.
Mark has asked, how many will it make?
12. I'm making 12 today.
Louisa says she's got a silicone muffin tin. Hope it will work okay.
Yeah, it should do.
Sure.
And Leslie's using an egg ring.
A what?
An egg ring.
Oh, I like how inventive you all get.
Yeah. Those cups, those stacking cups for kids would be good.
Yeah, anything. I mean,
Well, different
you don't need to
sizes,
use a cutter. You just need something that cuts the shape that you want. Yeah. All I'm doing now is I've got my stretchy bits of pastry. Right, so I'm just using these strips and then just wrapping them around the sides of each of the cases there, or the holes. The pastry, putting these cases together, is actually the longest bit.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it and you're thinking, oh goodness, this is taking a long time, the rest of it is going to fly by.
Yeah.
It's just this bit.
This is the technical bit.
It is.
It is the technical bit.
Louise is saying, will this work with already cooked sweet pastry tarts?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can just sit back, have a gin tonic, wait for us.
And Kirsty said she's made more than 12. Does that mean it's too thin?
No,
that's fine. You might, with the mixture, you'll have to just space it out. You don't need much mixture in these, so just make sure you don't overfill the tarts, otherwise you'll run out before you get to the end of your cases.
Harrow says they're extremely thin, so we'll end up with 15 petite Bakewells.
Oh, nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah, you've got to remember as well, it depends how deep you've made them as well, so there's a few extra variants, but it's absolutely fine. If you do find you've got more cases than you have mixture, you can always just bake the cases and then have them to hand and keep them. Right, so those are my cases. I'll show you guys. So we're going to put those in the fridge to chill for a minute whilst we make the frangipane case. So bear with me whilst I just go and put those in. But look, guys, I got some new bowls.
No, what's
no. Well, we do ask if anyone wants to say thank you for our workshops. You can make a donation on buymeacoffee.com. So I know it's not a coffee, it's bowls, but
I can get ever such big coffees in it.
but I thought with your donations I would buy some new bowls because they're glass and you can see through them, and I thought for visually, so you can see what's happening to my mixture, I would invest.
Yes.
So there we go. Right.
We rather like them.
Joanne's saying this is the second live video that she watched. The first one was the chocolate macarons. Videos and explanations are great, so thank you.
Brilliant.
Lorraine, you have the best recipes.
Yes. Also, just remember, for those of you who are new, we've got all of the previous ones. Michelle started this at the beginning of the first lockdown.
Yeah, April.
April it was.
Oh.
And she's been doing these free workshops every single Saturday, apart from a couple at Christmas.
Well, yeah, and then when we didn't have a kitchen.
But yeah, and the minor details of not having a kitchen, but they're all on YouTube and you can subscribe and go on. They're free.
Yeah,
but
and we'll keep adding more.
Yeah.
Right, so I've got myself a bowl. There we go. I'm very happy with my bowl. We've got 55 grams. This is softened butter, so unlike your pastry, this needs to be soft because we're going to mix it in.
Do you need a wooden spoon?
It might be less noisy, mightn't it?
I was just thinking with glass.
So this is, you're going to love this, guys, because after all that time just spent on delicate pastry cases, well, thank you, Mr. Booty Baker, you're going to, I'm going to put that down. This is how easy it is. We're going to put the 55 grams of butter in. We're going to put 55 grams of caster sugar in. 50 grams of ground almonds. 1 egg. I can say this again, don't worry. And a level tablespoon of, actually I'm going to use a dessert spoon, so I might put a bit more on, of plain flour. That's your frangipane mix. That's all it is.
I don't think that looks particularly brilliant.
Well, I think we should give it a mix.
I think we should.
And you can use a whisk on this as well if you prefer, but you really want this to combine into a nice thick batter. How are we doing? I'm going to lift this. There we go.
We're mainly getting a lot of love for previous workshops.
That's nice. That's nice.
So,
Interesting to know what everybody's favourite is.
yeah.
Well, cinnamon buns has already been mentioned straight
Yeah,
away.
cinnamon buns continue to be such a favourite. We have got a number of kits on our shop, and I am thinking about adding another kit. So do have a look on our shop for those. I've been really quite busy this past week putting together 2 new pages to our website. One is for virtual parties, and one is for businesses. So if you're bored at work and you haven't spoken to your team members for a long time, we're doing the Boozy Bakers Business Bake Off. Try saying that a few times.
Right,
Yes.
and saying what went in after the egg.
Yeah, okay, so we had 55 grams of softened butter, 55 grams of caster sugar, 50 grams of ground almonds, 1 egg, and 1 level tablespoon of plain flour. You're looking for a thick batter, like that.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to go and get the cases.
I told her it was a technical challenge. I knew it was.
Right, I have got it up on the other phone now. So
We just lost messages. haven't
lost
we?
messages.
Sorry about that, guys.
Right.
There are technical nightmares everywhere. Mr.
Yep.
Boozy Bakers has found your messages on another device.
Yeah, we were wondering where you were.
Right, Kirsty's French pan is lumpy.
Oh,
Kirsty, if it's lumpy, is it your butter that isn't quite soft enough? Or have you used something other than ground almonds? It should be quite smooth but thick.
We add
Yeah,
almond.
It
almond
might be
extract for extra almond taste.
Yes, you can. Yes, you said that as well, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So yeah, if you do want extra almond taste, do put a little bit of almond extract. Now what I've got is a fork with my pastry cases. I'm just going to gently, I'm not trying to stab it to death, but I'm just going to put a few fork marks in the base of each case. I'll show you, can they see that?
Yep.
So I'm just doing about 4 in each, and I'm just going stab, 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 stab. But just gently, not too hard.
Anne's asked what temperature is the oven for?
The oven's at 170 or 160 fan or gas mark 3. Get my memory today. It's actually doing quite well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Once you have the fork marks, like
Pricking it is.
pricking them, yeah. Once you've done that,
Can you just show your frangipane again to everyone, because it might have been when we lost
that's
connection.
fine. Yeah, we did have a bit of a technical nightmare. There, can you see that? Nice thick batter.
And Jackie's done a shout out to her grandson Freddie, who'll be 11 next week, and they can't visit him this year.
Oh, hi Freddie.
Yeah, have a lovely birthday.
Remember, if you have got people that are further away and you want to surprise them, we do have tray baked birthday cakes. You can theme them, you can add messages and their names.
And send a kit.
Yeah, send a baking kit, we've got all sorts. Right, I've actually got a tiny little spoon here, you don't need one this time. You want about half a teaspoon of jam. Mine is quite full because it's the half teaspoon size spoon, just to confuse you all. So you want about half a teaspoon of jam in the base of each. In fact, I'm going to confuse them, aren't I?
Yeah, just use a teaspoon.
Yeah, I'm just going to use a teaspoon. Right. So teaspoon, half amount, and you want that in the base of each of your tarts.
Amanda had a birthday last week, got her first Nordic ware bun tin. Their stuff is amazing, so we'll have a look at that ourselves.
Oh,
Yeah, Nordic ware. Okay.
And Diane is thicker. Should she add a little milk or just go with it, please?
I'll go with
There
it.
was it. Yeah, yours has thickened up actually since you very first did it. I think it's as the almonds taken the.
Yeah, absorbed it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just doing.
What flavour jam is this?
So I suggested cherry or raspberry. Just to be a maverick, I'm using strawberry because that's what I had.
I'm not sure about strawberry isn't the traditional.
Yeah, to be honest, you can even use apricots.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you want taste-wise.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is a
But I
traditional
think there is
flavour.
a traditional. When I used to make them many years ago, I always made it as a big one, but it was strawberry jam, then the sponge, and then I used to put the almond flakes, not the broken.
Yeah,
bits,
yeah, yeah.
Those all in a pattern
Yeah.
on the top. That's how I made it. So I was quite surprised when I saw yours.
Oh, I like to be different.
Yeah.
Right.
They're nice.
Okay, so I'll show you. Oh, look. Oh,
Late to the game today.
To Jim.
Yes.
Well done, Mr. Bisbecker. Cheers.
I don't know where we get our name from.
Not at all.
Yeah, the pastry is really sticky and we've added quite a lot of flour. What should we do?
Cool it.
Chill it.
Yep.
Chill it. If it's really not manageable, put it in a Ziploc bag or some cling film and chill it.
Yeah.
Come back to this workshop once you've got it to a manageable state.
You could even put it in the freezer.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the jam in the base of each of the tarts. There's not a lot. It's not covering the bottom. It's just a bit of jam in the bottom. It's not spread out. Don't do that.
Is it half a teaspoon of jam in each case?
Half a teaspoon of jam in each one.
Jane's making 9 with homemade Taberry jam, which were homegrown.
Oh, very nice. Like that.
Leanne's saying that's more like it with your gins now.
I know.
It's probably been far too professional up to this point.
But I'm not sure about that. To be honest, as I said, I hadn't used one.
Nice, Jim. What's this one?
What is this one?
That's the summer solstice one.
Oh, summer
It's
solstice.
a Salisbury one.
Yeah, let's do a bit of a shout out. This is the local one. This is a summer solstice one that Mr. Boozy picked. Mr. Boozy Baker. I don't know. Mr. Boozy's right as well. Picked up at a gin event.
It's actually from Wessex Spirits.
Oh, it's from Wessex Spirits. It's actually very nice.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really different.
So there you go. If you buy any, just let them know that it's recommended by us. Right, so well, you know, you might as well try.
Placements.
Louisa said, Hobby Hubby got me a posh cherry compote in a jar from a
Oh,
supermarket.
nice. Brownie points there.
Yep.
Sally's using homemade cherry jam from their cherry tree.
Oh,
gosh.
Oh,
Judy,
this is special
homemade
enough.
raspberry jam. We've got lots of homemade jam.
Brilliant, well done.
They're putting us to shame.
Do you remember when you made jam when I was a kid?
Oh yes, I made a huge pot.
You made a massive pot, but it didn't taste very nice because you'd used all salt rather than sugar.
Oh.
I don't know why you had that much salt, to be honest.
I have no idea. I had this
Gooseberry
big pot.
salt, basically.
It didn't thicken very well.
Jade spread her jam out in half of them. Should she try and scoop it back into a blob?
No, don't worry.
Okay.
Don't go with it. It was just more. You don't need to make the effort.
Yeah.
Right. Then you want a teaspoon of frangipane, and you basically want to cover the jam. You've only got enough, I would have said, to do 12 cases, and you will be scraping out the bowl, I would imagine, from experience. But I will show you if I can without tipping it all over you. Or over the sides. It's only just covering. Again, I haven't tried to spread it out, I've just covered the
You
jam.
can just.
Does that help?
It's difficult to do, but yeah, there you go.
Okay. So don't worry about spreading it or making it even, just cover that jam.
That doesn't look like there'd be enough, does it?
I know, but it really does rise.
Okay.
So cover the jam. And
I've
then
not made these.
you can always go back over them again
Yeah.
with a bit more if you've got a bit more left. But
So,
that's what you're aiming for.
we've got more homemade jams. Anna's using homemade damson jam.
Wow.
Yeah, they should send
Ter-
these jams.
Yeah, we could use your jams.
Yeah.
Terry with raspberry jam.
Wow, I love
Rachel
raspberry
raspberry
jam.
jam from the raspberries from the WI allotment.
Oh.
Wow.
What's the WI allotment then?
I don't know, you might take their jam.
Yeah.
Jules is using damson jelly instead of raspberry jam. Hank is making the tarts with Scottish preserve and 2 with lemon curd.
Oh, get you lot. I do need to see photos of all
Yes,
these,
we
by
do.
the way.
And Amanda's offered the next business idea, which I don't know how good for my health. Mr. Boozy beer and more tasting. Tasting.
I think that's a good one. I think
He'd love that.
He would like it.
His own channel of just drinking beers.
Get lots of sense out of it,
I'll probably get more followers.
Mind you, the other evening we decided to have cheese and port. We thought we'd have a cheese and port sort of meeting about things. Well,
I don't handle a lot of.
No.
A glass is about my limit.
yeah, it was quite funny. I think Mr. Bisbeck was quite disapproving, but it was a fun evening.
I am going to show you, but as you can see, I'm now scraping it out to get the last
I
one.
think it's the first
You want the
one.
first one to have a bit more.
Yeah, I think you've sold him short.
Do you think?
Ying saying thanks. How long should we put our pastry in the fridge for? That's from Sophie, Ethan, and Jamie as well. So
Right. That
children.
so I would say 5 minutes, 10 minutes is fine because you've got it in a, particularly if you've got it in a metal tin.
Yeah, cool, really quick.
It will, and it's very thin now, so it won't take very long to cool
I
down.
know this is an idea. I don't know whether this is correct or not. Could you chill this in the fridge before you even put the
Yeah, you
pieces
could.
in?
Yeah, you could. Right, so there you go. Can they see that?
Yep. Laura's asked, is it a heat teaspoon you've been putting on?
So the jam is not.
Hot teaspoon.
The frangipane mix, it was a bigger teaspoon. So yeah, if you go with the same size for the jam, use a heat teaspoon.
Yeah.
But you can always go back. So just my advice is put enough
Cover the
in
jam.
to cover the jam. Do them all, and then go back on any that just need a bit more. That is going to rise considerably.
It doesn't look like there's enough filling.
No,
It doesn't.
It doesn't. But it will. It will rise right up.
Okay.
So I'm going to put them in, and then I can tell you about timings. So you want to put them in for 25 minutes. Now they need 25 minutes to cook. In that time, the pastry will be cooking. Your frangipane mix is going to rise like a cake would. They kind of slightly dome tops. They're really pretty, and they'll go golden. Once they've had their time in the oven, you want to put them on the side and give them a few minutes just to cool down a bit. Don't try and touch them straight out the oven. Once they've had, say, 5 minutes, what I do is I get a spoon and I just gently tease one side, and it tends to knock them a little bit, enough that I can scoop them out.
Yeah.
Put them on a cooling rack if you have one. Or if you haven't got one, find something that you can put them on that they can breathe all the way around, so the pastry doesn't sweat underneath with the heat. So take them out, let them cool a bit, and then if you want to top them with some icing, I'm going to make this up for you now to show you. I personally wouldn't do this until you need it, because this will end up crusting, and you don't need to do that. So let me do it, and I'll sort that. So you want to get a bit of water. It was 100 grams of icing sugar, and I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of water to start with.
That's not a tablespoon.
No, it's a dessert spoon, sorry.
Dessert spoon, yeah.
So I might need a bit more. But you want a thick icing. If you make it too thin, it'll just run straight off the tarts.
Yeah. And it's amazing how little water you need in icing sugar.
Yeah, it does absorb
I
it.
think most people think you need a good old dollop of water in, and then you get this really runny mix.
How many days will they last for? Obviously in this house about 30 minutes. But
So I know I tried this out. They will last a good week.
Yeah.
Put them in a airtight container, and they will last a good week.
Yeah, but generally
Generally about 30 seconds in this house, but I did hide them up, and they did last.
Yeah.
So that might actually be a bit too thin, but I'm leaving mine, so it'll probably thicken up a bit. If it gets a bit too thin, just add a little bit more icing. You want it to be able to move around without too... You want some resistance, basically. You want to be able to spoon it on and it falls off the spoon, but then you want to be able to push it around with the spoon to the circle size that you want.
You don't want it runny.
You don't really want it too runny if you can help it, otherwise it will just run off, which is a different look in itself, and it will taste fine. If you would like to say thank you by a way of a donation, you can go to www.buymeacoffee.com/boozybakers. I will put the link up. I haven't done it on the comments because I wasn't organised, but it's very appreciated, and it does mean that we can afford to get our ingredients and practice and bring these to you. So it is appreciated if you would like to donate.
Elizabeth saying thanks very much. You're brilliant doing this every week.
No, you're fine.
Very enjoyable workshop. Feel very relaxed from Lorraine.
Excellent, it's good. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Baking has to be. Yeah, baking has to be a chilled out, enjoyable thing. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
Other than eating it, but no, it is. We do want you to have a bit of fun. If you do have any ideas, I know someone has said Jaffa cakes. I am going to look at that. My head's going, lots of processes, but I will have a look. If you have any other ideas of what you would like to do let me know, and that can be.
You can add savoury now.
You can add savoury. I've kind of said, you know what, anything goes. So if you do want a meal time and think, actually, I'd like to try making something, I can't guarantee it. Please remember that I'm a baker, not a chef, but I can have a go.
Gail said this has been so easy to follow. Definitely join in again in the future.
Brilliant.
Mark, another great workshop, guys. With thumbs up. Leanne, thank you so much as usual. Kim, thank you for great fun workshop. Can't wait to sample them. Sahida, thanks from 7-year-old. We'll join again next week. And Nick, thank you for our first time. We loved it. Erin, age 7, and her mum.
Well done.
Nice name.
Right, we will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.